welcome to this special edition of Money Monday with me, Angela Kabete. This is where you get all the financial strategies and all the tips that you can use, whether you are a day-to-day person aspiring to become a great entrepreneur. This is the right place for you. You are a business person looking for the strategies that you can use to scale up, level up, and grow your business. This is the right place for you. And in this special edition, I'm bringing to you wisdom from one of the most powerful books written in history. That is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And this book is not about getting that money, getting that rich you as yourself as an individual. It's about building a wealthy mindset, because everything starts in the mind. That business that you have as a day-to-day, that business that you have as a business person, as an entrepreneur, that big business that you have started in the mindset. Everything that you do starts in the mind. And in every area of life, everything that you do starts in the mindset. So this book was written in 1937, and Napoleon Hill spent 20 years interviewing 500 of the most successful people in time, and that is people like Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. And from those interviews, he discovered that there are 13 common principles that are used to achieve greatness. And so let's dive in and hear what Napoleon got from the interviews that he did. So the key lessons that Napoleon got are: number one, he talks about desire, and this is what he said: the starting point of all achievements, that this is desire. And it says success starts with a burning desire. You wanting to do that thing, you wanting to become that a business person. Success starts with a burning desire, not a wish or a hope, but a strong decision that says I will, no matter what. And what it says is what the mind can conceive and truly believe it, you can achieve it. And he says, ask yourself, do you know what you truly want? Write it down. Be specific. Be clear. What do I want to achieve as a day-to-day person? Probably you want to become a business person. Write it down. Be clear. This and this is what I want to achieve. And this is how it applies when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship and finance. For the business people, I say you must have a clear vision of your business growth itself, whether it's scaling, gaining customers. It doesn't matter if you have 5 customers in a day, you have 3 customers in a day. What I can say is simplify to amplify. That's why he's saying that have a clear vision of your the business growth that you have, whether it's scaling, gaining clients, or increasing revenue. And he says, without a burning desire, you lose during tough times. That's very true, because let's say, for example, you started a business. In a day, you're getting 30 clients, you're getting 20 customers, but there's that season, akunanga customers. Then what do you do in those tough times? If you don't have a desire, that is what pushes you, that is what fuels you to do more and more in terms of the growth of the business itself. And then when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship, it says desire pushes you to start when others doubt you. In moments of self-doubt, desire pushes you to doing it again and again. And it says that it helps you face rejection, take risk, and stay focused on building your ideas. That's why you push beyond the boundaries, you push beyond the mindset, that environment in your corner, despite facing opposition as a business person, as an entrepreneur, because that is possible. It might happen. Probably the surrounding might not embrace your business as you expected to. He's telling us that desire pushes you to start when others doubt you. By the way, it's high time you start creating this culture of saying it's time to start. The culture of starting, that is what he's saying. And that's why he's saying that desire pushes you to start when others doubt you, because moments of doubt was nafika. When that business is not working out, you start doubting yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Am I attending to my customers well? You start doubting yourself. But that desire is what truly pushes you to become a greater person each and every day. And when it comes to the world, to those who would want to become investors, or you are an investor, he says that you need a strong desire to grow your portfolio, build wealth long term. And you won't study markets or take calculated risks without clear financial goals. That's why he says that write down what you truly want to achieve as an investor, you know, as a business person. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to become? You know, because one thing that I know, if you have a fixed mindset, there's someone I was listening to, and this is what this person was saying: there's no destination if you have a growth mindset driven, that fixed mindset. If you have that growth mindset, the only place that you are looking for is the location of the growth itself, you know, because you'll never complete wewe unatafuta the location. I want to become, anataka biashara yangu ifike hapa. What after you get to that place? What next? That's why I told you, you need to think, you need to have a strategy, define what you want to achieve. Because after I've succeeded with this business, after nimepata hao 30 clients wenye nataka, what next? You know, what are you going to do as a business person? You know, as a day-to-day person. Alafu tena anaendelea anasema, for a day-to-day person, you know, if you're a day-to-day person, whether it's saving for a home, or paying off the debts, or starting a side hustle, you need to have a strong desire, you know, of saying that, unajua tumezoea kusema, I wish I could have done this, I wish I could have done this, I wish I could have saved. You know, he says that you need to turn that into I will. You know, I will start saving, I'll start budgeting, I'll start doing this, I'll start increasing my networks, I'll start being intentional with my networks, I'll start leveraging my networks, I'll start sustaining. I will. You need to start having that mentality, utoke kwa wish and I will. So let's hear what next. Apart from desire, what does he say? He talks about faith. This is very interesting. He says that believe in yourself and your vision. After you have written down what you want, you're a day-to-day person, you want to have that business, you're an entrepreneur, you want to diversify what you're doing, you know, you're an investor, you want to invest in different places, you know. He's saying that believe in yourself, in your vision. After you've written down, after you have defined what you want, where you want to be, after you have realized the location of the place that you want to be, probably let's say in the next 5 years, he's saying that believe in yourself. He's saying that you must believe that what you desire is already yours. That comes from faith. That is the definition of faith. So believing in what is not there, you know. And he said that speak it out, visualize it daily, remind yourself, this is where I want to be. Even if I'm not there, I believe in the next 5 years, in the next 2 years. It may take long, but at least, you know, you have a vision of where you want it to be. And faith is the fuel that turns your desire into action. And he's saying that action leads to results. Yeah, that's true. After believing in yourself, you know, after understanding where you want to be, it leads into action, and action leads to results. And saying, if you don't believe in yourself, then who will believe in you? You're a business person, you're selling these products that you don't know if they're good, you know, you don't believe in yourself. How do you expect your clients to believe in you? You know, probably you want to go somewhere and you want to have investors in your business. If you don't believe in that business that you want to have other people invest in that business, then who will invest in a business that even the owner, the one who has the idea, doesn't believe, you know, in yourself? Hakuna mwenye anaweza invest in that business. That's why anasema that believe in yourself. Believe in your products as a business person, you know. At least, you know, I don't know if you've ever in a place, you're not sure if you should buy this product. Then there's a way that business person is speaking about that product, and even if you don't want to buy it, you just find yourself buying it. Why? That person believes in the product. The confidence itself attracts the customers, right? And then for an entrepreneur, this is how it applies. Faith keeps you building even when you can't see the results, you know, because one of the hardest way of creating wealth, of becoming successful, is also the rewarding way of, it's also the rewarding. It's hard, but the same way it's hard, the same way it applies in terms of being rewarding and stuff. That's why I told me faith keeps you building even when you don't see the results. But if you've tried, if you've tried increasing your network, diversifying, increasing your streams of income, at least you're trying. That's why I told me faith keeps you building even when you can't see the results yet, because you have the understanding, you have a defined vision of where you want to be as a business person. And then anasema still, when it comes to the business person, if you don't believe in your startup, who you believe in your business? For those who are starting up the businesses, a business is a startup, probably ulianza jana, ulianza last month. You need to believe that business will grow into becoming a bigger business, because nobody wants to dwell in a startup, for the business people. Hakuna mwenye anataka, or your day-to-day person in that business that you want to start, and asking yourself, we believe in a startup because probably of the products that I'm selling. He's saying that it's high time you start believing yourself, especially in the world of business. Alafu tena anatuambia for the day-to-day people, our faith helps you trust your small efforts. That's those little things that you do, saving that 500 shillings, saving that 200 shillings to start a business in the next 2 years. And Tombia, faith helps you trust in the small efforts that you make, amplifying everything that you're doing, augmenting the skills that you're doing as a business person, no matter how little they are. Probably say you can see the big impact of them, but Tombia, faith helps you trust in the small efforts that you're making, like saving. But then, it's really hard to embrace the culture of saving unless you have things like that is discipline, consistency. But then saving, it's one of the high, especially if you're saving for a goal that unajua if something comes up, easy pesa. Why? Because you have a vision, you have a defined vision, you have a clear vision of the place that you want to be as a person. And atuambia the small efforts, they pay off even when things are tough. That's very true. I also agree. And now on other things, on another point, when it comes to this book, this is what he says. Specialized, he's talking about the specialized knowledge. I remember when you go, actually this is what happens when you go to school. This is what you're told, probably by parents or other people. Go to school, sit down in class, learn, maliza form 4, go out there, graduate, then get employed. But what happens is this: school gives you what is needed out there, but school does not tell you how to apply it, in the real world, because things are different. I believe for the business people, you can also agree, things are very different out there. And that's why he's saying specialized knowledge. And Tuambia, school teaches general knowledge, but the real secret is in specialized knowledge, the skills that you have. That's why I usually say each and every day, augment the skills that you have as a person, the things that you can do for yourself. And then he continues and say, skills that helps you solve problems and earn income. We all have different skills, that thing that you're specialized in, that thing that you can do it perfectly, than anybody else. And Tombia, start learning something useful today. Like, make sure make sure that you feed yourself with different knowledge iko mingi sana huko kwa social media. And tuambia that start learning something useful today, whether it's digital marketing, public speaking, that is business sales, anything that pushes you to move forward. Make sure that you learn each and every day. And this is how it applies to the business people. You're a business person. He's saying that stay sharp in your industry, whether it's marketing, trends, customer service. Make sure that you're good at it. For a business person, you're dealing with people. Go beyond. Understand, what do my clients want? It's not about what you want, it's about the clients. Go beyond. Understand understand the gaps in the market, understand the location. How does location affect the businesses? That's why I'm trying to that whether it's marketing, trends, customer service, make sure you are good at it. Or management, general knowledge. And general knowledge won't grow your profits. That's very true. And then when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship and Tombia, learn what others don't know. What makes you unique? What really defines you? What's your identity as an entrepreneur? What's your identity? Do you have that thing that makes you unique as an entrepreneur? That's something that people identifies you with, something that your customers identifies you with. What is that one thing that other people don't have? That's why you need to take your time before you dive into the world of entrepreneurship. We have had many guests here in Money Monday now. Take your time, do research. I'll listen to other people out there. Go and do a fact finding. Go and do a research. How this business is running. What are people saying out there about this kind of business that I want to start? And that's what he's saying. Learn what others don't know. That will make you strong when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship. And Twambia, know your niche. Know your customer behavior, because customers behave differently when it comes to the world of business. People behave differently. What is a later product, thinking that the clients are going to embrace it the way you want it, but unfortunately probably they don't embrace it. So what are you going to do? That's why Antombia, know your niche, know your customer behavior, and know how to pitch your idea effectively. Don't start the business if you don't know how to pitch your idea effectively, so that your business can run effectively. When it comes to the investors, Antombia, a specialized knowledge in things like real estate, stocks, cryptocurrencies, financial trends helps you make smart decisions. So make sure that before you dive, especially in things to do with stock markets, hizi vitu zenye zinakuwa affected sana na inflation. Tumekuwa na guest wengi hapa wamekuwa wakituambia do a research before you invest your money somewhere, before you use that money somewhere. Please do research. Especially probably you want to invest your money somewhere in a company. Do research. Is that company listed by the government? Is that company identified? The branding of the company itself, please, is telling us make sure that you check on the financial trends, especially when it comes to investments, the stock markets. Kama uko kwa stock markets, be checking what are the inflation. Make sure that you have financial advisors when it comes, so that you can make smart financial decisions, so that utakuwa affected. And then when it comes to a day person, Antombia, learning how to budget, invest, or build a side hustle gives you an advantage. You don't need a degree to win money. That's very true. You don't need a degree to win money. That is what he says. Let me repeat. Learning how to budget. This is something that you can learn. You can learn how to budget. This is something that you can learn from people out there. We always have Money Monday. We have different guests here. They teach us on how to budget. So tell me, at least if you have that idea on how to do it, or the idea on how to save, or the idea on how to invest, the idea on how to budget, and Tombia, at least you don't that's why Tombia, at least it gives you an advantage, because you have the idea on how to do it. So simply it's for you to apply it and know, how am I going to do it? What are the strategies that I need to do it? And that's why, but then comes since I mentioned mambo ya budgeting na saving, tulikuwa na guest I think last month, and this is what the guy said. For you to become an investor, lazima uanze na saving, because alikuwa anasema many people you want to become an investor because basically money is working for you, but there's a process that you want to miss, which is the process that cultivates that habit of becoming a greater investor. That is saving, because saving is really hard, but it demands discipline, and it comes to the world of investment. This is what it says. It needs patience. So imagine nauna discipline, nauna patience, nauna consistency itself, you quit because you feel like it's not working for you. So that's why you say learning how to budget, invest, or build a side hustle gives you an advantage. I agree, it gives you an advantage as an individual, as a person, and you don't need a degree to win money. I believe that you have learned like that. And then before we go for a break, tell me, what have you got from that? How do you feel that is when it comes to faith, when it comes to desire and the specialized knowledge? Do you feel it relates with you, as a business person, as a day-to-day person, as an investor? Unasikia umeguzwa wapi sana, especially to what Napoleon is saying? Which are the areas that you feel people outlook, but they're very important? Talk to me on 07 992 100 100. That is our WhatsApp number, and still on our social media platforms, that is on Facebook and YouTube at Mizpah TV Kenya. So I'll go for a short break, then we come back, we'll check something he's talking about, that is persistency, and then we'll check the power of a mastermind group, because the power of a mastermind group, that is the people that are surrounding you, on how they influence you as a business person. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, and this is Money Monday, and today on this special edition we're doing a book review that is written by Napoleon Hill, and the topic, the name of the book, that is Grow Rich, and the book Think and Grow Rich. And tulikuwa tumeangalia, we're doing a book review on what it says about this, and he's saying that everything starts in the mindset. It's true. As an entrepreneur, as a business person, everything that you do, you waking up in the morning and going to work, everything starts in the mindset. And now tuliangalia what he says, that is, before we went for a break, tuliangalia, he talks about the desire that we need, and he says desire pushes us to do things. And then we checked things to do with faith, believing in yourself and your vision of what you can do. Then to Kangalia, that is when he talks about specialized knowledge, and he says that we need to have the general knowledge on how to do things, monetize your skills. And for you to monetize your skills, make sure that you augment them, add value in them to make them perfect. And before we continue, I can see there is someone who is called Nibat Asaf. He's saying tuned in from Kisumu. Thank you so much for tuning in. And guys, niliwambia tukirudi tutangalia what he says about persistence, what the connection between persistence and mindset is up, because they say never give up. As a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a day-to-day person, he's saying never give up. And he says most people quit when they face failure. Yeah, that is true. How do you embrace failure? Reminding yourself that failure is a prerequisite to success, that you're supposed to learn from the failure itself. And actually, most of the business people, I don't know what happens. I don't know if you've got yourself in this situation. Most of the times when you do a research about a business, do you check on the businesses that failed, or do you just look at, tell yourself, if this business has really succeeded, I want my business to become like that business. You want your business ikuwe kama ya huyu na huyu venye anafanya vitu. But did you check out the business, that business that failed, that business that was shut down in a period of 3 months? Did you? And try to learn from it, and ask yourself, what did this person do, or what did this person not do that I can do to make sure that my business grows? My business my business runs even to a period of 5 years, because statistics zinasema most of the businesses, especially it comes to the small SMEs, zinaenda 3 years. Ikifika 3 years, they shut down. Some of them even 1 year. That's why anatuambia never give up, persistence. And he continues and say, those who succeed are simply the ones who didn't quit. So don't quit. If you're having that mentality of shutting your business, please, it's not time to give up. You need to push on. You need to continue with having that hope that your business is going to succeed. Alafu tena anatuambia that if you've been knocked down, rise again. Consistency beats talents. I agree. That is very true. You know, showing up, being there, making sure that you make it happen. That is very true every time. You know, it's saying that even if you've been knocked down, even if you're a business person, you're not making the sales, or you're an investor, you invested your money somewhere, you know, because the investment, kuna risk. And there is a time we talked about risk management, but you invested your money somewhere and you didn't get the returns, you know, as you wanted to. You know, are you going to be consistent? Ama be like, you know what, the world of business is not meant for me. When you're perfect in it, there's no one is perfect at something. They just push on and make things happen. And now let's check on how this thing that is called persistency, it applies to the business people. For a business person, sales might slow down, clients might leave. Yeah, clients leave, you know, clients might leave, but persistency keeps you pushing through the slow seasons until breakthrough comes. That's why you're supposed to ask yourself, especially for those businesses are starting, if I don't get the clients, you know, if the clients that I have leave, what will be my plan B? What will I do? You know, where will I get money to fund this business? That's why tunaambiwa. There's a time we had a guest here on Monday and we're talking about, you know, that is business, and alituambia most of the people when they start their businesses, you go and take loans. You find that your business is fully financed by that is the loan, you know, wewe pesa yako ija participate hapo. Then I think people forget that what if this business doesn't work for me immediately? What if people don't embrace this business as I expect to? What will I do? You know, because that is the main mindset that you're supposed to have. These are the big questions that you're supposed to ask yourself even before you start that business. You know, that's why I told you that but persistence keeps you pushing in the slow seasons. Slow seasons can. So that's why alituambia tukianza alituambia that thing, you're having a vision. Really define that business. Have clear goals. Know what do I want to achieve? Where do I want this business to be in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 7 months? That's the thing that you're supposed to ask yourself. Then tukaongelea mambo ya vision. Vision fuels you up even in the low seasons. I love he continues and say, when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship, you may fail multiple times as an entrepreneur before one idea works, you know, but you know, don't forget that entrepreneurship is not a one-man show. You know, that's one thing that you're supposed to remind yourself. Control is delusional. You can't control the world of entrepreneurship. That's why you're supposed to have something that is very unique. And to me, you may fail multiple times before an idea works. Alafu anasema persistence turns you from a dreamer to a doer in the world of entrepreneurship. I love that, from a dreamer to a doer. You know, that point of taking action, because really to make bold steps, you need to make the actions as an entrepreneur, doing it. Na tulisema mambo ya I will, getting out of I wish and ushering the world of I will. And then when it comes to the world of investors, this is what this is how it applies. This is the connection between persistency and the people who are investors. A long-term investing requires discipline. That is very true. Actually not even discipline peke yake, even patience, because for money to work for you, lazima uipatie time. You know, it needs you to grow interest, a lot of things. That's why it requires discipline. If you don't have the discipline, you know, probably umejiambia mimi I'll be investing a lump sum amount that is, let's say for example 50,000 once in a year, you know, 50,000 every year. Probably umejipay in a period of that is, let's say about 5 years, 50,000 every year. Then ikifika probably unaifanya, let's say August, in the month of August, that's when you're investing your money somewhere. That is the 50,000. Something comes up and you're like, let me use my money to do something else. Today I'm not going to invest the full amount 50,000. I'm going to invest 30,000. You know, hapo ndio mambo ya discipline inaingia. There's no discipline there, you know, patience itself. And that's why he's saying that requires discipline. You may not see instant results, especially to those who are not investing a lump sum amount. When you pesa zao unapata, probably let's say the interest is, let's say 13.5% annually, you might not really see money working for you. That's why natuambia you may not see instant results, you know, instantly. You want pesa pap, you want to see that million, you know, money working for you and giving you that million immediately. Saying that you You may not see instant results, but patience and discipline, this is where it comes in. And that's why he's saying, but staying at the course builds wealth over time. Do you quit or do you stay? If it doesn't work for you, what do you do? If, let's say, for example, you save for 3 months and you feel like, I don't feel like this thing is working for me that good. I'll probably gonna save 500 kila siku and you feel like it's not really working for you. Do you quit or do you stay? You need to stay, because he says winners never quit. And for the day-to-day person, this is how it applies. Well, this is what he says. Whether you're job hunting, call it when you have a job, building a small hustle, or trying to get out of debt, consistency is the only way to win. Let's talk about those people who are in debt. Do you take loans to pay the debts that you have, the debts that you owe people? Because it's saying that consistency is the only way to win, because you need to find a way. If you're earning, let's say 500 daily, you need to find a way to pay that debt, so that if you are entering into the world of entrepreneurship or business, or you aspire to become a business person, hutakuwa affected na madeni sana. At least you'll have something, that keeps you moving. And then let's check another thing. When he talks about that is the power of mastermind. What does he really mean when he says the power of mastermind? Let's figure out. Let's check out what he says. He says, who do you hang out with? Who actually, when you talk about your network, who do you identify as part of your network? He says that who do you hang out with? Your circle matters a lot. It matters a lot, because your approximation of what is possible is based on what you see, the people that are surrounding you. If you're surrounded by people who have a scarcity mentality, you'll end up being like them, because of the power of influence, unless you have the power to change them. That's why he's saying that who do you hang out with? The people that are surrounding you as a person, as a day-to-day person aspiring to become a business person, or you want to become an investor. Who do you hang out with? And he says that your circle matters. Surround yourself with people who are growing each and every day. Surround your people who have the mindset of abundance, people who desire to see growth happening each and every day, making the little steps. People who help you as a person to make steps each and every day. Let's say, for example, kama ni saving, people who keep you accountable. Umesave mwezi, why did you do that? And that's why the financial advisors and the financial coaches come in, And he says that surround yourself with people who are growing, dreaming. And he continues and says, let me repeat. Your circle matters. Surround yourself with people who are growing and thinking big. Let's talk about thinking big. People who see beyond what is happening. People who see beyond the surrounding. People who see beyond impossibility. Who do you hang out with? That's the big question. And then he says that they'll help you stay accountable and sharpen your mindset as a person, as an individual. That's why he's saying that. But that's true. They'll help you sharpen your mindset, stay accountable, and grow each and every day. So it means that the people that you surround with, do you surround yourself with people as a business person? People, when you kimwambia, what, my business is not giving me returns as I expected it to, or I'm not getting the clients, people are not embracing my products. What could be the problem? And that person is like, what, you need to shut that business and try something else. That is not the mentality. Those are not the people that we need to. But this brings us to that aspect that if in the world of entrepreneurship, you need a bigger network of people. You need to be surrounded with people who dream like you, people who are vision minded like you as a person. People who help you understand on how you can leverage relationships with people. People help you understand on how you can sustain relationship with people. Those are the people that you need to surround yourself with. People will help you grow. People who push you. Even people with greater businesses like you, greater businesses than what you have. At least they push you, you know, to grow each and every day. Let's see how this applies to the business people. And Tambia, your network open doors for partnerships. That's true. Your network open doors for partnerships, mentorship, and growth strategies. That's why what I've just said. You know, people when your biashara make succeed. People who have stability in their businesses, they help you understand what can you do. You know, at least you get to learn from them. And like having people who cannot mentor you, people will not help you grow. That's why I'm talking. Yeah, partnership. Number one, partnerships. Number two, mentorship, and then growth strategies. You know, sometimes you need to learn from other people's businesses, people who have succeeded. And then Tambia, don't isolate yourself. That's when you say don't isolate yourself, what I think is saying that you need to be open-minded. You need to go out there, network with people, you know, get to know people out there, increase your network each and every day. You know, how do you grow your network? Those are the things that you're supposed to ask yourself as a business person. And then let's check how this relates with the world of entrepreneurship. And Tombia, being around other innovators and risk takers sharpen your ideas and keeps your fire burning. Being around innovators, being around risk takers, because when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship, there is risk. You know, even you making that step into venturing into that business that you're not that sure if it's going to work for you. Do you know that's a risk? You know, because you're not sure, very uncertain. But at least you're making that bold step of taking that risk. That's why I'm talking about that, being around innovators and risk takers. You know, because we say that you need to create a culture of starting, you know, a culture of taking risks, even if it's really hard. But don't take a risk if you have not done the research. You say, oh, it will work for me. No. That's what you're saying. Being around other innovators, you know, risk takers, people who pushes you, and to me, it is sharpen your ideas and keeps you burning. You know, being around people who desire, you know, to have things that are bigger than what they have today, it helps to keep your fire burning. And then when it comes to the world of investment, this is how it relates. It says a mastermind group helps you learn from others. You know, that is what it says. It helps you learn from others. Yeah. And another thing, and you part you're learning from others. Before for the first session, I said that in that part of learning from others, you don't only learn the good things, you know, from people, even the downfalls, the failures of people. You need to learn from that. You know, there are books out here, people have written the journey when it comes to the world of, let's say for example, entrepreneurship, or the things that they do, the reasons why they failed. You need to learn from that, because probably it might not really when it comes to failure, wewe ukianguka itafanana kama yake, but what matters is the way that person navigated that situation, you know, that moment of failure. That is what matters. That's why natuambia when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship, when it comes to the world of investment, I say, a mastermind group helps you learn from others. You really need to learn from others, both those who have failed. You know, ask yourself, why did they fail? Those who have succeeded, what are the things that they're doing that I can also do as an investor, so that I can also become a great investor? These are the things that you're supposed to ask yourself. And then he says you learn from others' experiences, and then avoid bad decisions and discover new opportunities. You discover new opportunities by being open-minded, by having people who are open-minded like you. That's why you discover new opportunities, being out there. That's why you ni mambo ya networking ingilia hapo. As a person, that's as an investor, that is how you're supposed to reason. And then this is how it applies to a day-to-day person. This is what he's saying. Let me read. The people you spend time with affect how you spend. Oh, really? That's interesting. The people that you spend time with affects how you spend your money. You know, that is money. And then you spend your time. Time matters a lot. I don't know how you spend your time as a day-to-day person. You know, do you spend your time sleeping? Let me usually say, if it's sleeping, you have a vision. Don't compete with the dead in the land of the living. Wake up. Ende your kazi, chapa your kazi. You want to have that big business in the next 1 year. Why don't you start saving up for that business? You're 500 shilling in unalipwa. Why don't you find a way to budget and save your money? Probably you can be saving, let's say, you're earning, let's say, for example, 10,000 monthly, and you want to start a business. Why don't you start planning? Why don't you plan your money? Ngalia, what are the needs? What are the wants? What are the things that I don't need as a person? You know, when it comes to the wants, what are the wants? What are the things that I can't live without? You know, the wants are the things that you can live without. You know, zieke kando, weka the ones kando kwanza, then, you know, save your money so that you can start that business. Because anasema for the day-to-day people, the person you spend time with will affect how you spend your time, your money, how you save, how you think, how you resonate. Because you say that the environment, we as people, we may not realize that environment affects a lot the way we reason. The people that surround us affects a lot the way we think. Actually, even when it comes to possibility, if you're surrounded by people who are very pessimistic, they don't see possibility in anything, you might not grow as a person. You might not become that greater person that you want to be. But if you have people who push you each and every day to become that greater person, you really grow. You break the limits, you know. Alafu anaendelea anatuambia that will affect how you spend your time, think, and grow. And after anatuambia, choose friends who push you forward with purpose. That's why tuliongelea mambo ya vision, understanding what do I want to do in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years, as a day-to-day person. Do you aspire to become a business person? Do you aspire to grow? Do you want to become that great and successful investors? Then do you surround yourself with the right people? For example, let me say, having the financial advisors, people who help you understand when it comes to when it comes to finance management, this is how you're supposed to do. Having the business coaches, you want to dive into the world of business, having people who tell you, you know, this is how it works, this is how the external environment affects the business, you know, this is how the government policies affect the business. If you don't have these people, how will you know? What are you going to do? You know, utanguka too. But personally, I love when it comes to the general book review, personally, I love the idea of writing down your goals. Even for the business people as a day-to-day person, the idea of writing down your goals and reminding yourself daily, you know, writing your goals down and saying them daily, it really helps, you know. And it may feel like it's strange at first, but it really helps one, because remind yourself each and every day, you know what, I'm going to work because this is what I want to achieve in the next 3 years. You know, I'm pushing my business to work even if it's not working out, because probably in the next 3 years I want to diversify my business to other branches, you know. So you need to push on. And then one lesson that has challenged me as a person is persistency, discipline, consistency. These are the things that you're supposed to consider as a person. Kama unataka for a day-to-day person to become an investor, discipline, the discipline of saving, that is a culture that you must embrace. Even for the business people, it doesn't mean that because you have a business it means that you won't save. You really need to invest your money somewhere else. You know, you need to save. You need to make sure that in times that business is not working, you have an emergency fund that is helping you in that business. I believe that the book has really been of help. But what are the action steps that you can take as a person from what Napoleon has amesema? Write down your personal goals of what you want to achieve, you know, then start reading them out, you know. Then if you know you have this skill, this is what you can do. You can probably have a strategy. Let's say, for example, you plan it monthly. This month I'm going to work on this skill, I'm going to augment this skill, make it perfect. Next month I'm going to work on this and that. Or if I've worked on this skill next month, then next month I'll make sure that I put it into practice. You know, probably you're a business person with that skill that you know you can do it well. Work on it, then next month launch it, start monetizing it, probably, because we had a guest here Monday na alituambia it is very possible to monetize your skills, but you must work on them, make them unique. And then another thing, when it comes to the world of networking, I believe that you have understand the importance of having network, the people who are surrounding you. So number one, you must learn on how to humanize networks. Number two, learn on how to leverage your networks, the people are going to help you. Number three, learn on how you can sustain your networks. Everyone needs networks in the world of investment, in the world of business, in the world even for you, a day-to-day person really need to grow your network. So that's why I tell you, find one or two people who inspire you and stay connected to them. People who inspire you, people who motivate you, people who keep you moving each and every day. This book, I believe that it has been of help to everyone that is Think and Grow Rich. It is not just a book, because of it, everything that you do starts in the mindset, as a person. And now, apart from that, just a reminder that we'll be having something that is upcoming at Mizpah Prayer Center. That is the Sonship Summit 2025. Did you know about it? Probably you're watching and you're asking yourself, what do you mean when you say about sonship? Sonship, this is where the sons and the fathers gather, in the presence of God. It will be happening that is from the 23rd to the 27th here at Mizpah Prayer Center. And you'll be so glad to have, be having servants of God. You'll be having ministers here gathered in the presence of God. For more information, talk to us on 07-277-66553. I'm Angela Kabete. I really had an amazing time. But, before we wind up the show, don't forget, talk to me and be what is that one thing that you feel you can start working it out. What are the steps that you think from the book review that you have done, that is Think and Grow Rich? What do you think you can start working out, or how does it relate with you? Talk to me on 0799 200 100. I'll read your comments next Monday. Till next time, bye bye.